All right. What's going on in the chat? Welcome everyone else who's joining us right now. So Mathman Equinox, as we said previously, there is only one new reward, which is Title Cultist. There is nothing else. Everything else is just older rewards. What is it? Can you see me? Someone in chat is saying that there is some problem. The stream working normally. Is the stream working? Tell me if it's not. It's showing that it's working on my end. Is it working? In the chat, there is some discussion like you cannot see me. Was the stream broken? You see me now. So what was the problem? Did you see and hear everything I was talking about Bethesda Discord announcement about the hotfix? Was that working? So there was a problem. Okay, so I don't know what you did see and what you didn't. Also, you just now see me? Oh, sorry about that. I have no idea why. It must have been a YouTube problem. Is it the same on Twitch? If someone is watching on Twitch, were you able to see everything or not either? Okay, I don't know what happened then. So it started 9 minutes late for you. Okay, so that's not the case because I'm streaming and talking here for 10 minutes now. Oh no. Okay, so I'm talking to myself then. All right, so let me go back to the Discord. Okay, let's go back then. Let me know if something will not be working, if you will lose me for a moment or anything like that. So let me know if there would be any problem. So can you see the Discord and still hear me? I hope you do. So basically, we're talking about hotfix. So I will go back to talking about hotfix if that was not transmitting. No, I was here talking to myself for 10 minutes now. Was saying hi to all of you and then covering the hotfix and yeah. All right, so if you can see it, that's good. So I will go over it again. So what hotfix was fixing? It ran specialist per card, unequipping other per cards. That was one fix. The Catalyst quest line getting stuck and being impossible to complete, which is Brotherhood of Steel quest line that leads to Westek. So that was fixed. Then players not being able to turn into a ghoul. That was another fix. And lastly, daily orbs not changing and not rotating. That was the fourth fix. And only those four fixes made its way into the hotfix. So that was rather a small hotfix. It doesn't address any other issues. And just something appeared. Wait, something appeared under PTS announcement. So let me finish that, then we jump. And something new here too, or not? Wait, no, wrong tab. Okay, so those patch notes, and then. So there was a follow-up post after patch notes. And follow-up post, Catalyst, still bugging out for some people. So if you are one of those people that cannot complete Catalyst, what is Bethesda doing now? Through the customer support, you reach through this link, and they manually reset the quest line for people affected. So if you are affected, reach the support and they will fix it for you by manual reset. So it's the hotfix didn't work out for everyone with the catalyst already backed. Then rat specialist, it's showing wrong values in effects tab versus what it should show, but it is the effect is what says on the per card, so it maxes out at 30%. So that's the maximum you can get from rat specialist. It's not more than that. That's the maximum. And as well, what card do not really specify, it affects environmental radiation only, nothing else. And it doesn't really show on your Geiger counter. Like if you see this number +8 rats or +4 rats over your health bar, it still displays the same when you have rat specialist equipped, even though the rat specialist power card is working and giving 30% increase to environmental radiation, which nevertheless is very weak, and I'm not using it on any of my builds. Too weak. Then daily ops failed to rotate correctly, but after that it started rotating. Mothman Equinox runs until April 22nd. Now, hopefully you were able to see it and hear me. So hopefully it worked. Is it still working? Anyone in the YouTube chat? Is it still working? It is possible that YouTube is having some problems. I don't see any fresh chat. The last one is from a couple minutes ago. So either no one said anything recently or YouTube is struggling again. Okay, someone is in the chat. Okay, all good. All right, perfect. So that was from the latest announcements in regards to live game version. Then we do have some announcements from the public test server. So if you are testing phishing, that applies to you then. So some important news from public test server. Let's cover that here. So first, there was the update that happened and patch notes for the phishing that we checked last time. And after that, yeah, pinpointers, they added this note after I covered the patch. So the fact that pinpointers was nerfed was not early disclosed, only a little bit later, but I already was talking about it in a video. And that's new. The team is still evaluating the base damage numbers on shotguns and rifles after commando changes. Stay tuned for future patch notes. So that's the clarification that there will be, during this patch cycle, there will be some kind of rebalancing for base values of shotgun and rifles damage, most likely above, similar to what happened to pistols. So it's not yet on the public test server. They are still evaluating how much it's supposed to be adjusted. So we'll see about that. But it is planned, so just to be clear. And lastly, that's recent, the PTS Loca, so this special container outside of Vault 76, appeared again that contains some modification for fishing rods and bait. And I will be checking that out most likely on Monday. How it is working, as I was really not able to get any rare fish. So I will definitely go back to PTS and check that. I'm even more interested in rebalancing for the base damage on rifles and shotguns, but that's coming in the future. And lastly, that's what appeared just now. PTS servers will be going down just under 2 hours from now to deploy an update to the build. We'll follow up with the patch notes come then. So something is happening. I don't know what they are doing, but They're doing something today. It will be a little bit later, so not yet. In 2 hours, the update's supposed to occur, so that's kind of late update for the public test server. We'll see what's going on. Maybe it's already this rifle rebalance. I'm not sure. It may be something completely different. So that's in regard to public test server. Okay, Twitch is all okay supposedly, so that's good at least. The game crashes more often for you. It's possible. Like the game crashes are very dependent on your particular rig you are playing on. If it's PlayStation, Xbox, it's different for everyone. So I cannot judge the game crashes. I do experience some game crashes, but they're not very frequent for me. So it's not like very annoying. It's happening probably at this moment with this patch, I think once per 3 hours. Usually the game will crash. Want to ask about Juggernaut update. Uses HP instead of AP. Would be, yeah, that there is a lot. Like with the latest changes, all the legendary effects of the rifles, shotguns, new perks. That's a lot. Definitely opens possibilities for some awesome builds. But we'll wait before I start doing any builds until it will be closer to the final version. As you know how the PTS works, they are proposing changes, reading our feedback, and quite often change it again. So do adjustments based on the feedback. So it's not, most likely not the final version of all those changes. Okay, Toast almost never crash on PC. So yeah, that really depends. My game do crash, but not very often. And I know it's worse on consoles, especially older ones. And now I will answer your questions from Turtle Army Discord. So we will head there. Okay. There we go. Hi AT. Thank you for teaching me how to get better damage. I watched your video on YouTube and got it. Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. Get the damage on. Hello Turtle. On the new commando per card, it says 75% damage when targeting the torso. Is that VATS only, or does it include hip firing and aiming as well? It does include everything. Just as long as you hit the torso and you have commando perk equipped, the 75% damage increase will be applied. It is additive though, so keep that in mind. But it's significant. Like 75% is significant. You will absolutely notice. Next, hello. I think Bethesda should add some kind of a sign for Ghoul players in the game. For example, rat sign like in character choose menu. Yeah, that would be helpful. Place after player's name, which will be visible in team roster or on the screen when you choose team to join. This way, player has opportunity to know what team is joining. This is especially important for United or Real perk. Yes, it is. Myself, I'm always performing Ghoul dance emote when I'm joining someone's team or somebody is joining the team currently I am. For now, it can be good sign of a ghoul in the team, I think. It may be, but don't forget the ghoul dance can be performed by humans too. So not really limited to ghouls. But yeah, normally what I do to recognize if I'm on the ghoul team, I check health bars. If they 100% full and I don't see any rats, that's the best indication we have that those are ghouls, as ghouls do not have any radiation on the health bar on the team menu. So that's how I'm recognizing. If I see even a little sliver of radiation, I know it's human. Next, Katie, thanks for all the great info you share with community. From what I've seen, not many people play as a ghoul, and I think a big part of that is how much harder it is to manage glow compared to health. There are tons of ways to keep your health up, vampire conductors, born survival, and so on, but Glow doesn't have nearly as many convenient options. Personally, I'm a bit of a min-maxer, so I don't mind hotkeying toxic goo and spamming it, but that's not possible if you are on a controller. If it were up to you, what changes would you make to make playing as a ghoul more appealing to average player? So, what most players were requesting, give give them ability to switch a Stimpack button to Toxic Goo button. That would help most people. As on consoles, you have quick heal button, but if you could switch it to Toxic Goo, it will make it much easier. The Toxic Goo is not the best healing if you drop completely off from the glow, but can work. And there are some healing effects like Vampire, so you could use Vampire weapon to heal yourself up and then spam Toxic Goo. That would give more options. And that's true that so many players are still not ghouls. I did a poll, quite a bug. Okay, that's all questions. So let me find the poll. So I was planning to discuss it, but I didn't yet with you. So we open it. I was surprised myself with the results. I just need to find my own poll on YouTube. Come on. View my own channel. And that should be post tab. Zoom it in. Zoom it in. Okay, so here you see it. So 6.4k votes, so that's significant sample. We have over 6,000 players voting on that. That was 13 days ago that I did the poll. And look at that. I play Ghoul, 30%. I play Human, 44%. That's like half, almost half exclusively play Humans, as there is option I play both. So we do have people that play Ghoul and Human. So if we add this 14% for both, as we could do that, it will then go above 100%, but this is okay, as some people play both. So if you add this 14%, so that would be 44% players at least have one Ghoul character. And if you do it the same for the Human, so that's at least 58% have at least one human character and play it. So there is majority human still. I'm really surprised. And there's of course 12% I don't give a flying turtle. But I was really surprised. I was really surprised that with the Ghoul update, which is quite big and substantial, so many people didn't even try it, I think. Or maybe try it briefly and go back. That I did 13 days ago, so it was like 10 days into update. So that was fresh. Ghoul update was fresh, but long enough period for everyone to switch and finish the questline. And still, majority human. So that tells you something. People want to be humans. I'm as surprised as you. But I do plan to switch myself back to human to try that again. So I do plan to switch myself to human. Maybe even tomorrow. We'll see about that. I have like one last ghoul build that I need to cover, and it is experience ghoul, experience farming ghoul, which is the hardest one to pull, honestly, with the charisma penalty and charisma now scaling for experience. Therefore, it's the hardest one to pull, as you cannot really go blooded, and you cannot really push charisma very easily because there is penalty. But yeah, you can. You can do a lot. So that's the last build I need to cover, and definitely like switching back to human just to farm experience, that's too expensive. Because, you know, if you switch to human and you want to be ghoul again, you pay 1,000 atoms. So that's not an option. Therefore, we do need experience farming ghoul build. Let me check the chat a little bit. Fishing in World of Warcraft, I never experienced that. I wasn't playing much World of Warcraft. I've tried it in the past, but that's not definitely not my style. Yeah, they are generally going away from weapon specific perk cards, which I think is good because that gives more variety for builds. So just going with the perk cards that focus on specific playstyle rather than having free exclusive perk cards to boost damage of automatic weapons, that's too much because that's 9 points doing one and the same thing. So I do like the fact they are changing it. Although they are leaving alone Heavy Gunner for now, which would be like one last outlier, doesn't make much sense for me. Are they planning to do another one later on in 3 months and redo Heavy Gunner perks? I hope not. I would prefer if that's gonna be done with, like once and good balance. I mean, slight changes for balance, like couple percentage up and down in the future if they will feel like it's needed. That's fine, but not a complete rework of like 40 perk cards with every update. It's a little bit much for me. I would much more prefer one big change and done for a year at least. So focus on the cards, redo them as they need to be redone, and for a year leave it. Even though I do make build videos and I have views of the build videos, and from my selfish perspective, completely change it every time, and I will upload a series of build videos after each update, which would be good for me, but it's annoying. Like from the player standpoint. I'm a player too, so I know how annoying it is if every 3 months every perk and everything is upside down, rebalanced, changed. In my opinion, that's too much. Not like changes are not needed, just too frequent. The disguise is annoying for ghouls. Yeah, that's true. Oh, Samson, you're a veteran stealth commando build. Good for you. So that's the mostly works as a human. Are you a ghoul or human? Human supremacy. The smooth skins are talking. Why are you calling for mods? Which particular sentence is wrong? I don't know. I maybe I missed something, but I don't see any hate speech. Yeah, crafting new stuff not only costs but waits in stash. That's true. So if you need new gear with every update, what you do with old ones? Redo it, scrap it, keep it? Like there is no room to keep it. Yeah, I agree that perks needed update. So that's not what I'm against. I'm for perk update. I would just prefer one big perk update and then leave it. If they nerf getting plasma, we'll get more variety. I don't think people will be excited about nerfing the strongest weapon. Just slight buffs for the weapons that are behind will achieve the same, and then adding a second raid to add more challenging content and problem solved in the way everyone would be happy with. That would be my solution. Instead of hitting Gatling Plasma with a nerf just after they gave it a buff, which is double bad. Like, if you feel like, as a developer, if you feel like one weapon is particularly too powerful, don't give it a buff. Don't do that. Just keep it as is and buff other weapons. Because with the Gatling Plasma, it was already fighting for the first spot against Gauss Minigun. That was the combat. Gatling Plasma or Gauss Minigun. Depend on enemy, one or the other was winning. And then suddenly, Gatling Plasma received a buff by the way of introducing new exclusive mods. And those are not like small mods. If you miss that, so one mod was to give it armor piercing effect that is not available for any other heavy gun as a mod on the weapon. So that was one. And the second one was to increase its fire rate. And you know what fire rate does? It directly increase your DPS. So they added two mods directly increasing DPS of the weapon that was already fighting for the first spot, which obviously push it way into first spot. So that's what happened with Gatling Plasma. So currently Gatling Plasma is the strongest weapon no matter what your build is. You can be commando and Gatling Plasma will outclass your railway rifle. So that's the problem we kind of have in here. But it's only because, like, what happened just before they buffed Gatling Plasma? Do you remember what happened just before Bethesda buffed Gatling Plasma? They nerfed railway rifle. So the railway rifle was the commando staple, number one for commando, and in most cases, the number one DPS weapon. So Bethesda decided to nerf it, and just after that, buff Gatling Plasma, which put balance kind of all over the place for a moment and reshuffled everything, putting Gatling Plasma as exclusive winner for all range weapons. Yeah, you only pay atoms about changing ghoul to human. You only pay atoms for changing into ghoul. Like changing to human is free. What about downgrading perks? That would be a cool feature, but it's not necessary. In case of perks, you can just scrap the perk you don't want and pick up rank 1 and rank 2. You still need to scrap perks to get those perk coins to upgrade your legendary, so overall, just get level ups, and if you need a lower rank, pick it again. And there is not so many cards that go very high in ranks. A new type of team for ghouls? There is like no room if they would need to redo one of existing teams. And Pete is turning ghoul this weekend. You go feral not so quickly, really. It takes about 3 hours. There is no news about two missing caravan vendors. I'm max out on supplies myself. I don't know what's happening. Those caravan vendors were appearing previously on public test server, so they were there. But in recent iteration of public test server, they're missing. And it's silence from Bethesda about Caravan. I don't know. I don't understand it. That's other thing I don't understand. Why introduce a whole new game mechanic with the Caravan just to abandon it completely? Maybe caravans are not perfect, but I generally enjoy the idea of having your own private caravan company, private hub. I was just hoping they will let me build inside so I can make it as my secondary base. You know, all the workbenches, there are workbenches missing. If I could add water source, like ask someone from the community what the base really needs. And maybe later on, if I could farm those supplies and add into my caravan base like resource generators on top of everything, like buying them with the supplies and so on. So yeah, I don't know why they abandoned caravan for now. Maybe they just cannot handle everything. I don't know. I wish caravan would be updated. It's not perfect. I'm not saying caravan is perfect, but still. Do I think there will be more map expansions? I'm pretty sure there will be, but I don't know when. Yeah, I would love west of Forest. That's correct. The other side of the river. I always wanted to get on other side of the river. I was trying, and there is invisible wall. There is huge space on other side of the river, the western part of the map. So that would be awesome. Very like vertical map expansion. That would be awesome. Why are you talking about Samson? Did I miss something? Oh, because someone's name is Samson. That's probably why. Okay. I was like, how did we go in the chat to the story of Samson? Caravan should be PvP feature. Oh, that would be cool too, but I I'm afraid with the creation engine, Bethesda cannot handle PvP. That's not gonna work. Yeah, the Brahmin sometimes still gets stuck. But I don't think it's happening very often. I joined several caravans to help, and Brahmin did went through. I hope they don't delete Caravan like it happened with original Raid in Vault 94. So I hope they don't just delete them. The Bethesda has this tendency, like if they cannot like fix something, they just delete it, which I don't support. Absolutely not. Don't delete stuff. Fix it or leave it like as a legacy feature. So it's better just leave it a little bit broken than delete it. Like deleting is not helping anyone. And about map expansions, like with the Ghoul update, all those locations where the Ghoul are on top of the map, like upper right corner of the map, those locations are new, and this is kind of a map expansion. It's a little bit further than normally we're able to wander. And other deleted features, like the raid is not the only deleted features. What I can list off top of my head, so raid was the first deleted feature ever. But there was a second one. Do you remember the survival server? Which was quite cool idea when you were able to unlock unique legendary weapons and so on. So survival servers were second to die and deleted. And then after that, we received Nuclear Winter, that eventually was deleted because that's not a PvP engine and hackers were running rampant, at least on PC. On PC, hackers were a nightmare. I did have had several good runs on Nuclear Winter. I think I even won once. I think it was only once. But I did won once and deleted because of hackers. Most of the games, unfortunately, there was no way to win, as you were just one-shotted from across the map by someone behind the building that was using wall hack, aim hack, distance hack, every type of a hack. So that was a disappointment. Any questions in the chat, let me know. The news, I don't think there is any more. I think I covered. So about the news, there was a hotfix on Tuesday and fixed several problems with the game. There is planned update for public test server and phishing that will happen in about an hour. Will start, so PTS will be going offline, and we don't know exactly what will be added. We know there is planned rebalance for the base damage of shotguns and rifles. So that's from the news. Oh, and about Nuclear Winter, there were even people running with miniguns in the lobby, so on PC. So yeah, everything was happening there. Some of you are losing the faith in Bethesda's ability to actually balance this game. Luckily, that's a PvE game. Like, let's be honest, Fallout 76 is a PvE game, so even if they cannot balance it, it will still work just fine. Like, look at Fallout 4. If something is unbalanced, those are weapons from Fallout 4. They go crazy. Some weapons do like no damage, and other weapons evaporate enemies in no time with broken legendary effects and broken mods and so on. that is still like that. And I think it's still present, like in Fallout 4, a bug that keeps increasing your max health wherever you consume like Yaogwai roast or something. I don't remember the exact name, but that ruined my survival playthrough on Fallout 4. Like I decided to eat this roast twice, and then I noticed that my health permanently went up, and there was no more difficulty to this survival as I end up with like crazy amount of health. No one could kill me. Yeah, the Ghoul update mainly introduced new playstyles. The next update, unfortunately, is fishing. So if you are looking for a lot of content, fishing is definitely a lot of hours to unlock the unique plans through challenges, but not a lot of content. Unless there will be something else added that we don't know about. We definitely will get another raid in the future. That was confirmed by developers. So in one of their interviews, they said that there will be a next raid and it will be harder than current one. So basically, they worded is this first raid is like a warm up for everyone what raid can do, and the second one they want to ramp up difficulty and make it really hard. So what they mean by that, time will tell, but definitely the second raid is planned and it will be harder. And fishing is not too bad per se to kill some time, but it's very annoying to try to unlock those super rare fishes. And that will be then everything for now. For the news for this week, we'll see each other soon with members. If you are a member of Turtle Army, we'll do the hangout and we'll do our daily challenges as usually. Maybe I will take a look how to figure out the experience built on the ghoul. But of course, if you are not a member, you will not miss anything. After I figure out how to do experience build for the ghoul, I will post it. So you will be able to see. I will do my best to make experience build for the ghoul that works. One good thing about experience for the ghoul, you can run it in power armor. Because there is no unyielding. In Stardew Valley, fishing is great. So I don't play Stardew Valley. I have no opinion therefore about it. And that being said, members, see you soon. Everyone else, see you tomorrow on our regular grind and Mothman Equinox and changing, most likely changing into human. That will be an adventure if that really bugs out my character. Hopefully, there will be no adventure and we just turn back into human successfully first try. And yeah, members, see you in about 5 minutes.